Artificial intelligence is no longer the future. It is the battlefield of power. Nations are racing, not for land, but for algorithms. Whoever controls AI controls data, economies, and influence.
This is not innovation anymore. This is dominance.
The United States, China, Europe, all fighting the same war.
But power doesn't come from code alone.
It comes from regulation, data, and control.
The real question is not who builds AI,
But who controls it?
Now let's dive deeper and see how AI can actually work for you.
You know, we're in the middle of a new global arms race. But this time, it's not about missiles. It's about minds and machines. So let's dive into the high-stakes battle for global AI dominance. This is the question, right? It's on everyone's mind, from world leaders to tech CEOs, because whoever wins this thing could very well define the next century. So, who's really going to come out on top? And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi movie plot. AI is already here. It's woven so deeply into our daily lives, from the assistant on your phone to the algorithm that picks your next show. It's a total game changer, and its power, well, it's growing exponentially. Okay, so if this is a race, who are the main competitors? Let's get into the key players. All right, check this out. You've got the two heavyweights, the US and China, and their strategies could not be more different. In the US, it's all about this decentralized, super competitive ecosystem. You've got giants like Google and Microsoft basically racing against each other, which leads to crazy fast, but maybe a little chaotic progress. China, on the other hand, is all top-down. It's a massive, state-directed plan pouring huge investments into very specific AI goals. I mean, two totally different playbooks, but they're both aiming for the exact same prize. But hold on, it's not just a two-horse race. You've got other major players jumping in. The European Union, for instance, is carving out a totally unique path. They're aiming to lead not with raw tech power, but by setting the global standard for AI rules and ethics. And then you've got emerging nations like India and Singapore making really smart, strategic moves to become major AI hubs. So with all these players in the game, you'd think there'd be some rules, right? A referee? Well, no. That's where things get really complicated. We are basically in the Wild West of AI. Okay, so one of the biggest dangers here is the risk of a monopoly. Just imagine for a second. One company or one government gets so much power over AI that they basically hold the key to all of our personal data. They could use that AI to make huge decisions that affect your life, all without you even knowing. Yeah, that's a pretty chilling thought, isn't it? And of course, this intense competition is just cranking up the tension between countries, creating this really complex web of friends and rivals. And look, on one hand, this race is driving some incredible innovation. But on the other, it's sparking some very real fears about AI being used as a tool for mass surveillance and, well, control. And all of this really brings us to the core of the problem. Right now, there are no universal standards. There's no global referee, which means there is very, very little accountability. Companies and countries can pretty much do what they want, creating a super dangerous and unpredictable situation for all of us. So, in this total chaos, how does anyone actually win this thing? Well, it turns out there might just be a formula for dominance, a kind of three-step plan to win the whole thing. You know, at the end of the day, AI isn't magic. It's fueled by two things: tons and tons of data to learn from, and the massive computing power to process it all. This quote just nails it. If you control these two resources, you've got a huge head start. So, here it is, the three-step formula for AI supremacy. Step 1, you have to master data and computing power, period. Step 2, you need a genuine breakthrough. We're talking a game-changing technology in something like natural language processing that puts you light years ahead of everyone else. And then, there's step 3, and this might be the most powerful move of all. You get to write the rules for the rest of the world. If you set the standards that everyone else has to follow, you control the game. Okay, so we've looked at the players, the battlefield, the whole playbook, but let's bring this all back home. Why does any of this high-level global competition actually matter to you? Because, let's be real, the outcome of this race isn't just about which country gets bragging rights. The decisions being made right now about how we govern AI, about ethics, about privacy and control, they will fundamentally shape the world our children and grandchildren grow up in. This is literally about the future of freedom, of opportunity, and what it even means to be human. So that brings us right back to where we started. Is it going to be the innovation machine of the US, the top-down strategy of China, the rule makers in the EU, or maybe a dark horse we haven't even thought of? So I'm asking you, what do you think? Who's going to control the future of AI? I really want to know what you think, so drop your predictions in the comments. And hey, if you found this interesting, you should definitely check out our piece on the most advanced AI robots out there today. Thanks for watching.